Hello, welcome once again to my class. This is Bisoye Alieme. Today, we are learning how to sew a sweatpant, a leggings, all those fitted trousers, okay, or pants, as you call it, all right? So, first thing first, what we are going to check there is the length of our trouser. Okay, on this my pattern paper, the length is 40 inches, and for this particular class I'm taking out, okay, we are going to take our vertical measurement first. Okay, so here I'm working with I'm going to add a waistband, so you can see me, I've taken out 1.5 there. On from the waistband, that's the beginning of the waistband. Now I went down to my hip line, that's 8.5, and then my crotch depth, okay, and that's 11 inches. Okay, so that's basically what I have measured there, and I'm going to measure it so that I can rule the lines. So another thing I want to say here now is if you are drafting your own, please let your starting point, because my own starting point here, I have 1/2 inch here that I started with. You see me, I'm marking the 1/2 inch there. But for your own, I will advise you come down by 1.5 or 2 inches or thereabout, because when you're talking about leggings, we are not talking about it reaching, the floor length. Okay, it's going to get to the ankle or a little bit above the ankle. So here, let your starting point be like 1.5 inches down. And why are we going down by 1.5 inches? We are going down by 1.5 inches because our back, center back, now the center back is going to go high by 1.5 inches. So you see me, when I get there, I'm going to add more paper to that end, to this upper part. So here I'm ruling my line. Sorry, I'm using a pencil, but you still get what I'm doing. Just keep watching. Okay, if I'm going to take the next class now that is going to be on this paper, I'll definitely use a marker. Okay, so here I've marked out my vertical measurements. You can see me writing down my waist, my hip, my crotch length. Okay, so from here now, the next thing I'm going to do now is I want to divide this paper into two. So the width I have here is 28 inches. So I'm dividing it into two. So that will be 14 inches. Okay, so I'm taking down my 14 inches now, and I'm going to roll the line on the horizontal line. I'm going to roll that line in between from the waist down to the M line. Okay, so like I said earlier, we are making a sweatpants, a leggings, a tight, whatever name we want to call it, but it's going to be long. It's coming from the waist to the ankle, okay, or maybe probably a little above the ankle. Okay, so here I'm drawing down my center line. That center line there is going to serve as my side seam, because in this one that we are doing today, we are not having any side seam. Okay, we are only having the in seam, no out seam. We don't have any out seam, we are only having the in seam. So one part, now I'm labeling one part is going to be my back, and the other side is going to be my front. Okay, so that's center, or can I call it center or side seam? Now that's what I'm labeling now. So you can see me, I'm writing my back and my front. Okay, so I'm writing the back and the front. So that's what I'm doing there. So now let's insert our measurements. So now for this class, now I'm working with a stretch fabric. Definitely now when we talk about sweatpants, leggings, they're always stretchy. Okay, we're not talking about Ankara here, we're not talking about cotton fabric. No, we're talking about stretchy fabrics. Okay, so here I'm inserting my measurement. Now watch what I want to do here. On the waist now, I inserted my actual waist measurement, but I'm going to correct it later. You'll see where I'm going to do the correction later. okay, because here we are working with a stretch fabric, no doubt. But I have a band. The band I'm going to work with now is going to be my waist measurement minus 2 inches, okay? So here on my waistline, on my hip line, sorry, I'm inserting my actual hip. I'm not adding any seam allowance, no sewing allowance here, all right? So I have my hip measurement. My hip is 44 inches or 43 inches, okay? So I'm taking my 43 inches now and I divided it there and I inserted it, all right? So the next line now, that is my crotch line. What I measured there now is my thigh measurement, my lap, my thigh. That's what I measured there, all right? So I inserted my thigh measurement. You know that when it comes to thigh, you measure only one leg, and because this pattern drafting now is basically for one leg, okay, I'm not cutting front separately, I'm not cutting back separately, I'm cutting it one, okay? So here I'm going to insert my measurement, the whole of my thigh measurements, okay? And so my own thigh measurement now is 26 inches, so I'm going to divide it by 2, okay? Yes, we are dividing it by 2, so I have 13 on each side, okay? So that you see me do that now. Can you see that? So I have 26 inches there. So that's what I'm marking there now. So now, because this is going to be a fitted sort of like trouser, I'm marking my knee measurement there. So I'm going to do a vertical line. And then I have my M measurement. That's where my ankle gets to. So here on my knee measurement, you are going to take the measurement of your knee circumference. That's your knee. So you take the measurement of the circumference. That's the round measurement. Now, like we did for the thigh, we are going to divide this one 2 by 2. My own knee measurement there is 20 inches. Yes, my knee measurement is 20 inches. So I divided it by 2. So I have 10 on each of the side. So I'm taking my full 20 inches there again. Then on my M, okay, on my M there I have 10 inches there, okay? So I'm going to insert 10 inches because I'm making the full measurement. No seam allowance, okay? No seam allowance. Yes. All right. So on this one now, you see me that I'm pausing there because I need to explain something to my students that are with me there. That's why it looks as if I'm dragging back, but don't worry, you will get it. Can you see? That's my hip measurement. I'm showing her water. So that's okay. I talked about adjusting my waist measurement back to my hip measurement. So that's what I've done there. All right. But if you are having a zipper now, you work with your actual waist measurement, your actual hip measurement. But here, the band now is what is going to bring my hip together back to my waist measurement. And the beautiful thing about this is that you won't even notice when it is sewn that the waist line was wider, because the band will bring it together and make it perfect. Okay, all right, so that's what I've done there. So I've adjusted my waist. The pencil line is showing faintly, pardon me for this one. Subsequently you see a more clearer lines. Okay, all right, so here I'm connecting them using my curve ruler to draw my from my crotch line to the waistline. You see me there, you see it on this side now. You see my ruler is coming this way. So here on the back crotch line, I'm coming out by 1 inch, okay, just to have enough ease, for the back side. The back is protruding out more than the front, so it protrudes more than the front. So you see that I need to adjust my measurement there. So I came out by 1 more inch, so I don't have 13 there again, I have 14. Okay, so that makes my thigh measurement now, it now makes it 27. Okay, so now I've done the connection. I'm still coming back again because this is a stretch material, no doubt. I'm still coming back to take out half inch from each of the sides, okay, from the waist, the hip, and the crotch line, okay. I'm coming back there later. Okay, now you can see what I said earlier. I said I was going to adjust my waistline because my back waistline is a must. It must go up, okay, by 1.5 inch, okay. So there I've done the 1.5 inch, okay. And on the front waistline is going to come down by 1 inch. You can see me there. I'm marking my 1.5 there, and I've gone down from my front waistline now by 1 inch. The back went up by 1.5 inches. Are you getting it? Yes. All right, so now I've done the connection. I've marked everything I needed to mark, and I'm going to connect. Yes, you can as well use your hip curve ruler to do the curving there, but I'll prefer to use a straight ruler. So what I'm going to do there, I'm going to connect my back measurement. Now, I'm going to connect my back measurement, okay, because that one went up by 1.5. The front came down by 1 inch. I'm going to connect them with a straight line, okay, so that I have a slant, look, a slanted line. All right, so that's what I've done there. So the next thing we are going to do now is I want to reduce the width of my cloth. You can see me, I'm going to go in by half inch, okay. Just keep watching what I'm going to do there. Okay, here I want to take my my M. I've not really inserted my ankle measurement now. So whatever thing your ankle measurement is, I told you earlier, I said mine is 10, okay? Because for the purpose of this class now, I'm using 10, okay? But if you want to make maybe a straight cut sweat pants, that is, there will be no band at the ankle side, you can leave it at your knee measurement. Your knee measurement may be what will be at the ankle, okay? But what I'm showing you here is just something fitted all the way from your waistline down to the curves, okay? That's your ankle now. So here I'm doing the connection. I'm using my hip band. You can see, my hip ruler now, my curve ruler, that's what I'm using there. So I'm going to connect the lines. Then from the nail to the M line, that is to the ankle, I'm using a straight ruler, okay? So just watch what I'm doing there. So you can see that I'm joining it that way, okay, from my nail with a straight ruler to the M. All right. So for this class now, the length of the trouser I have there is 38 inches. 38 inches, okay? 38 inches. So now that I've done the connection now, I'm going to come back and adjust my measurement by taking out half an inch. Why I'm taking out that half an inch, I don't want folding because this is a stretchy fabric and the fabric stretches well because I'm using a suede fabric, okay? That's what I'm going to use to sew the sweatpants, and I'm making a top too with it. I'm making a sweater too. On it's going to be, I don't know, I have 2 yards of fabric. By the time I get there, I'll know maybe I'm making a long sleeve top or I'm making a 3/4. But definitely I'm not going to make a short sleeve, okay? So when I get there, I will know what my fabric will take. But for the purpose of this class, you will see it when I get there, okay? But this one, we are working on our pants for. So you can see me, I've adjusted it and I've taken my measurements like so. And I'm adjusting the measurement now. That's the half inches. So I'm correcting whatever thing that I have there. All right. So once this is done, the cutting begins. So I'm going to adjust it too from the crotch line to my nail length. Okay. So I'm not taking anything out from my M. That's the ankle length now. No, I'm not taking anything out. So that's what I'm marking there now. Just bear with me. The pencil is so faint, but definitely you understand what I'm doing there because when I cut it out now, you see what it looks like. Okay, so if you have watched this far and you have not subscribed, you have not liked this video, what exactly are you waiting for? Please join my DIY family, join my YouTube family, and click the subscribe button, click the like button, and share to all the groups that you can be. All right. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Like I said earlier, my name is Bisoye Alieme. Okay. All right. So you see me do the cutting. So the cutting starts from the waistline. Okay. So here I'm placing my sellotapes. I mean, is this sellotape? Yes. I'm placing my paper tape now, sellotape. I'm placing it properly so that when I cut, I have some joining there. So I don't want it to separate. All right. So now I'm cutting the front crouch. Okay, I'm cutting the front crouch. And then the inseam for the front. That's what I'm cutting out now. The inseam for the front. And then I'm cutting out the waistline now. You see the waistline is slanted. At least that sellotape will be a guide sort of. As you are seeing me cutting now, you see that yes, I'm going from inside of the sellotape now to outside. Okay. All right. So now I'm cutting the crotch line now for the back. And then we'll move to the inseam. Okay. So that my paper will not roll out, I want to tape it down. Okay, so I'm doing the taping now before I cut the inseam. So here I'm cutting my back inseam. All right. So you won't believe that your pattern is ready. Your pattern is ready. So another thing that you need to note now, what I've done there now, when I'm going to sew the main one, you see me that I'm going to cut out my curves for the hem line. That's a band sort of at the hem line. Okay, but when we get there, I'll show you what to do when we get to the cutting table. So here, basically what I've taught you today now is how to cut your leggings. Okay, your sweatpants that has no band at the hem line. But when we need to put the band there, you will definitely see what I'm going to cut. So shortly, you see me fold my fabric over so that you can see what it will look like. Now I'm just showing you. I want you to see what it looks like, spread down and all that. I'm going to bring my camera close now so that you can see. Can you see that? So this is my front and that is my back over there. You can see the lines. It's not straight, it's curvy because I used my hip curve ruler. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to fold it over so that you can see what it looks like. So you see the excess, the length, the back length, you see the difference now. Okay. So I'm taking out the tapes that I used in holding it down and I will fold over. You will see the difference from the front, between the front and the back. Okay, the back height, the extended crouch and all that. You see what it looks like now. Can you see that? Can you just see that? Can you just see that? Ha ha ha. Wow, so beautiful design and pattern we have there. Thank you for watching with me.